From zero to wealth redistribution. Hey, what's up? My name's Black Sheep. Welcome to my project. Welcome to my dream. And if all goes well, welcome to the rest of my life. Very much looking forward to it. It's my goal to use this YouTube channel and other YouTube channels I end up making to raise money to start a business, which gives 50% of the net profits back to the customers, back to the users directly. And I want to redistribute wealth with that business. So first video on this new channel, made another channel, made like, I don't know, 5-6 videos. Then I learned about YouTube and made a second channel. We're going to be super specific. So in this channel, we're going to be going over financial disasters, incidents in history where wealth was redistributed. And I'm going to be learning everything I can about business because I don't know anything about business. I didn't go to school for business and I don't know economics. So zero to wealth redistribution. Today we're going to be learning about FTX, the most recent explosion and waste of capital in the world. We're going to learn it from Coffeezilla. Originally I was going to take notes, but I think I'll keep that for a second channel. I'll just keep this more like reacting. And if I need to write notes at any point during the video, I'll make a mental note and I'll come back to it later. So we're just going to get into it. We're going to learn about FTX. And there's two videos. This is the first one. Okay. We're going to watch FTX collapsed. Here's why by Coffeezilla. Then we're going to watch It Got So Much Worse by Coffeezilla. Coffeezilla is, of course, the notoriously well-intentioned YouTuber who keeps on finding bullcrap in our influencers' daily schemes and business goings. Great fella. He's got that drip. He's got the is this overall? Is this spandex? What do you call this? Am I not rich enough to know what this is called? The guy who breaks wood on TikTok has the same thing. This guy shatters some wood as well. Just in the financial world, of course. So pardon my audio, pardon my iPhone 13 Max setup. There's 3 cameras. I keep looking at them. I figured out it's this one. Hey, this is the camera that like eye contact comes from. So what's up? How's it going? First couple videos are going to be a little bit frantic. This intro is already too long. You can call me Black Sheep. You can call me Daniel. Let's just get into the video. Crypto Armageddon. FTX collapsed. Here's why. We're just going to react to it.
Crypto Armageddon is here. The biggest players in the world
And
are
learn.
They're fighting it out, and I'm here to tell you who won and what's
prepare
next.
ourselves
now,
for our
to be honest,
future.
I called this yesterday.
Redistributing
I warned
wealth.
you guys that FTX, second largest exchange,
Peace and love.
might be insolvent, and people called me crazy. They
Like
said,
and subscribe.
no way the guy who described all of DeFi as a Ponzi scheme could be bad. Sam Bankman-Fried, he's just too smart. FTX, after all, is endorsed.
I will say, I don't know anything about FTX. I don't know anything about crypto besides I lost thousands of dollars for it because I took advice from my little brother and my dad who ganged up on me about investments, convinced me to put money into 4 cryptocurrencies, which I will not name. I lost around $4,000 to $5,000. That sucked. Cryptocurrencies kinda aren't great. And anyone that calls out cryptocurrencies doing shady things is a Satanist scholar. So great job, Coffeezilla, and the other thousands of you that are doing the same thing I'm doing. Reacting to these cool people. Give them a round of applause. Great job, Coffeezilla. You keep up the good work. Crypto is garbage. Let's move on. If that changes, I'll be sure to change my opinion and let you guys know. But we're going to go into it.
Endorsed by Tom Brady. What could go wrong with another celebrity endorsement? People like Larry David backed FTX. Surely your funds are safe.
When Larry Davis and Tom Brady endorse something out of their prime, when a celebrity who's out of their prime endorses a massive, massive company, it's either hit, like Shaq, in his State Farm commercial. I think it's State Farm. It's either a hit. Oh, it's the General. That's not State Farm with Shaq. It's the General. It's either a massive hit and a win, or it's a flop. And I've not seen Larry Davis's face in so long that it was like a shock, like a blast from the past to see Larry Davis's face, okay? A blast from the past. I don't even know what he was in. Was he in Seinfeld? I'm 30. I am 30 and I do not know media that Larry Davis was in. I know Tom Brady's the GOAT. I know saying he's not the GOAT's going to get me killed, so I'm going to look around my apartment. Well, Tom Brady might not be the GOAT. Okay, still alive. Keep watching.
Well, turns out they were actually in danger all along, and things are looking very bad. So I'm going to explain to you this entire mess very quick, but bear in mind this is a very dynamic situation. Things are changing by the hour.
They were out of the Monster Juice at the Dollar Tree, so I got Venom. Please don't judge me for my choices. This is the first video. I'm trying to redistribute wealth. You can just mute the video and keep this on in the background. Like and subscribe and go to the next tab. Hey, trying not to curse, huh? Trying my best not to curse. Flibber flabber.
But let's get into it. Once there existed two rival crypto exchanges, Binance and FTX, the number one and number two.
Haven't heard of either. Zero to wealth redistribution. That's a solid zero. Moving on.
Crypto exchanges. And their CEOs,
top two
CZ
crypto
and
exchanges.
SBF,
Okay.
or Sam Bankman-Fried.
Anyone that goes by their initials or is known in the media or by journalists by their initials will eventually screw the pooch, as they say. I don't think there's anyone, maybe MJ from Michael Jordan. But then again, there's Michael Jackson. I'm not saying he did anything wrong. There's been no proof, but if someone goes by their initials, they're too comfortable with journalists. Their industry, they're too comfortable with everyone. Don't ever go by my initials. If you see me in a journal in the future being referenced by my initials, please let me know so I can call up the journalist and tell them not to do that. So Binance, FTX are the two biggest crypto exchanges. We have CZ, the tall Eastern man on the left, and we have SBF on the right, who looks like a mixture of that Hans Niemann guy, the chess guy, mixed with H3H3 Ethan Klein. Is it me? Strange. We have two videos to watch, so we're gonna try our best to stay within fair use and keep talking and learn from this what we need to learn from this. Because remember, our goal is to go from zero to wealth redistribution using YouTube channel as a funding mechanism, eventually going to Patreon, Kickstarter, whatever I need to do. Sorry for the glare on the glasses. Blue light filters suck. And they're bent because I broke my glasses. So I want to make a business. I'm going to be vague about that business for a little while. I don't have the patent just yet. But let's just say it's an online business where half the money generated in net profits goes back to the user directly. Someone just knock on my door? I hope not. I'm sorry about the party out back. The pool to my complex is like 200 meters that way, and I can hear everyone drunk and screaming, so hopefully you guys don't. But we're gonna continue now. We have to learn a lot.
Freed hate each other. That's an important part of this story. But things were calm at first, for the most part.
Calm
They
at
played
first?
nice for
Okay.
years, until recently, SBF decided to take a pot shot at his competitors' attempts to work with regulators and said, he is allowed to go to DC, right? Implying that CZ was banned. Now,
how do you get banned from Washington, D.C.? First of all, if you're banned from Washington, D.C., you've done something. If you're banned from the crypto world, you've been found out. Okay. So he's mad at his competitor for trying to be regulated in the financial market. Theoretically decentralized banking. Oh, literally decentralized banking. I know some crypto. When you lose $4,000 or $5,000 in crypto, you pick up on some keywords. All right. Continuing on, he doesn't even have himself as his picture. He has a Fiverr drawing of himself as his picture. Oh, he even goes by his initials as well. Oh. A moment of silence for this easy to see L. You can see this L from a mile away. First of all, let me remind you what this guy's hair. He has like the curly hair that nerds have who are overly confident. You know what I'm saying? That curly, overconfident nerd hair. He's got it. My hair is growing too. My hairline's not bad for. Should I tell you how old I am? Have I told you how old I am? Let's just keep that a secret. My hair is pretty good for 24. And I've got it in a little man bun. And it's going to get bigger. And I've not done a man bun before. So for my massive milestone 24th birthday, I put it in a man bun. And we're going to grow that out. So, okay. Well, let's go back.
And said, he is allowed to go to DC, right? Implying that CZ was banned. Now, he didn't know it at the time, but
what do you mean banned?
Set off World War III in crypto with this tweet, and he might have signed his own funeral. Because a few days later, a report came out from Coin.
Quick pause. I love when tweets cause the death of things. I'm just gonna burp right there. I saw the future. Maybe I mess up in social media at one point. Please don't be the death of me. But I love when people's tweets lead to their demise. You had a second to breathe, and you were just like, I'm gonna pump out this tweet.
Desk leaking FTX's financial balance sheet. And what it showed is that they had a lot of money, but it was sort of locked up in all these token projects they were a part of. Most notably in FTT token, Solana, and other projects that they.
Okay, so FTX, the guy that owns FTX, the CEO, also owns Alameda Holdings or Alameda Research, which is an investment firm. So they're taking money. I kind of pre-watched the second video. I'm not going to ruin it. So total assets, 14.6 billion. This is comprised of 5.8 billion FTT token, 1.2 billion Solana token, SOL, 3.37 billion in unidentified crypto held. $3.37 billion in unidentified crypto held. And that's it. $2 billion in investments in equity securities. That sounds like a good one. Good job. This leaves roughly $2.2 billion in assets. According to our sources, hundreds of millions of dollars of the remaining assets are comprised by Alameda's holdings, the SRM, Oxygen, OXY. So you're researching how to invest into crypto? Let's just keep watching.
Were behind, and they couldn't sell the project anytime they wanted to. In other words, even though they had millions of dollars worth of assets, they weren't very liquid.
These people are the experts. I don't know.
Some of the coins weren't.
These people are the experts, okay? All right? I'm just going to make fun of them for a long time. I've got a lot to learn. I know how to do my business and my project and my dream, but I'm going to be involved with these other financial systems at one point. I'm going to have to know them, know what they do, know their flaws, yada yada. So let's go back to the video. Let's keep watching.
That valuable. so they couldn't get access to these funds immediately. Meanwhile, they had huge liabilities of $8 billion, $7.4 billion of which were loans. Now, Dirty Bubble Media,
$7.4 billion on loans. Sounds good.
Which we've
Doing
talked
well.
about extensively, picked this up in a scathing report. In it, he suggested that FTX and Alameda Research might be insolvent because all their money was locked up in these tokens that might be worthless. And if everyone tried to withdraw their money all at once, the company could likely not pay off their liabilities. Now, CZ saw this and decided to take an opportunity to strike against his biggest rival. He announced that day that because of recent revelations, which because of that report, quote, we have decided to liquidate any remaining FTT on our books. Now, this was massive given that FTX is #1.
What do they say? As part of Binance's exit from FTX equity last year, Binance received roughly $2.1 billion equivalent in cash. So, equivalent in cash. They didn't receive it in cash. They received it in BUSD token and FTT token. Due to recent revelations that have come to light, we have decided to liquidate any remaining FTT on our books. Who is this by? The Binance guy. So, let's go back a little bit.
And decided to take an opportunity to strike against his biggest rival.
Teach me.
He announced that day that because of recent revelations, which because of that report, quote, we have decided to liquidate any remaining FTT.
Comment down below if my hair is pretty.
Now, this was massive given that FTX's #1 holding was FTT. Their competitor Binance is saying that they're going to dump up to $2.1 billion worth of it on the open market, causing that price to plummet. Now, all of a sudden, you don't even have illiquid funds. You just have none of those funds. So even though CZ said that this was not a move against a competitor, it kind of looked like it was, right? Of course he's going to say that. In reality, he knew what he was doing. Now, immediately, this stoked all sorts of fear.
This CGI smoke coming out of his mug. It's the worst part about Coffeezilla. Where's the second tweet? 1, 3. So they pulled out all of their money out of their competitor, knowing that their competitor didn't have the assets to be liquid, which means they weren't able to facilitate withdrawals or trade some currency back to cash for their own constituents. Comment below if I'm an idiot.
A move against a competitor, it kind of looked like it was, right? Of course he's going to say that.
I'm allowed to not know money and still want to redistribute wealth. That's why it's 0 to wealth redistribution, okay? This isn't 45 to a million. This is 0 to a million, okay? We've got this. It's going to take a while, okay? First video on this channel. Shut up, okay? I can hear you from here. Turn down the volume, take a deep breath.
In reality,
watch
he
the
knew
video.
what he was doing. Now, immediately, this
he knew what he
all
was
sorts
doing.
of fears about the solvency of FT.
People who deal with billions of dollars, we like to think that they know what they're doing. Keep in mind, there's no good billionaire. I'm going to end up being the first good billionaire. I hope. But there's no good billionaire.
FTX.
The people that win Powerball for $2 billion pay more in taxes on that than actual billionaires do on their own income. So think about that. The only good billionaire is a lottery winner. I'm sorry. I had to break that bubble for you guys sooner or later. That's all.
And the fear spread like wildfire. Is FTX the next Luna? Is FTX the next Celsius?
Definitely.
And people started to withdraw funds like crazy.
He has 2 cameras. He just went from the this to the Twitter turn to the this. I like that. I like that. He grows out and shapes his beard. I just let it grow. I'm trying to get rid of these patches for like half a decade to a decade to more than a decade. These patches won't go away ever with time. So forget it. Yeah, I just shave when I shave.
Which honestly was the logical move to make.
When it looks
The
bad,
problem
I
with crypto
shave.
exchanges right now is that because there's no monetary insurance on your money, even if the probability of an exchange going bust is less.
Do you use crypto? Comment below if you use crypto and it's like something that like you understand, you make money from. I enjoy online dating apps just for the chance to meet cool strangers. And a lot of Eastern women have very good knowledge of cryptocurrencies. I'm not going to say specifically where, but it's Eastern women. It's great. It's awesome to see. I'm talking to one right now who literally has enough capital to help orphans in Africa. Like, excuse me? Can you teach me? I had money at one point. I was a pandemic worker who was discriminated against and let go the same day they spoke to HR. Not going to tell you the company name because I have an open case with the EEOC. We'll talk about that at some point. Keep going. How long is this video right now? 21 minutes? Oh boy.
Less than 1%, you still have to take all your money out because if they do go bust, you lose everything. If it doesn't go bust, you only lose a fraction of a percent on trading fees for being cautious.
I feel like I forgot what he was talking about.
Is that because there's no monetary insurance on your money, even if the probability of an exchange going bust is less than 1%, you still have to take all your money out because if they do go bust, you lose everything. If it doesn't go bust, you only lose a fraction of a percent on trading fees for being cautious. And so there's really nothing to risk by taking your money out, and there's everything to risk by keeping it in. So basically that means bank runs are extremely common these days, and a lot of these exchanges, they're really not ready for it. In fact, Sam Bankman-Fried himself said that a lot of crypto exchanges are secretly insolvent, which was a bit of weird foreshadowing. But at first, it looked like FTX wouldn't go insolvent. A lot of people said this was very unlikely.
Pretty sure insolvency is when you can't pay your debts and your capital is less than the people have invested in your bank. Or if it's not a bank, your assets are less than your debts. That's not right. Again, comment in the comments below and teach me economics. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Since in the past, they've looked very strong. And that's what they basically said. They said, look, it's no big deal. This is all FUD, nothing to worry about. Alameda Research, who is closely tied to FTX, actually responded about these leaks in their financial.
We're back. I realized my cam was full screen for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. I don't care. We're just going to keep going.
And that also, they have returned most of their loans by now. And most shocking of all was that they offered CZ to buy all of his FTT off market for $22 each, near the current price. Now, the reason for this is obviously to show that, okay, we're not scared. We've got the
Coffeezilla, stop with the CGI. How hot is your coffee, brother? Do you nuke this thing? Is this nuclear grade warming? How is it still piping hot? You're destroying the immersion. You got the crazy guy poster board in the back. You've got what looks to be a white blood cell or something. You've got a macrophage over here looking to eat up some debris, bacteria, or other foreign invaders. You've got a nice ergonomic chair. I was gonna say cheap chair, but no, those are ergonomic chairs. Those are like $700 to $2,000. Okay, I've got a nice chair. I put a blanket on it, so like you guys don't think I have money. But this is the most expensive chair, kind of before ergonomics, or one of the top 10 for ergonomic chairs, and it was still too much money. I had money once in my life, and I spent it. It was great. Everyone should have money. Oh wait, That's why I'm trying to redistribute wealth. Even if this video is boring, like, subscribe, share, put it on mute, play the whole thing in full. Go to the next tab. Appreciate you.
Money to back this up. And if you really aren't trying to sink us as a competitor, you'll be happy to do this private deal, get a better price, and not impact our price. It would save both parties a lot.
You'll thank me for these crap videos one day. The shaky cam as I... Okay, this gimbal's holding up pretty well as I shake my leg. Okay. Good job. Shout out DJI Osmo for your gimbal. I appreciate it. Shout out Camo. Is it called Camo? It is. A camo free version is what I'm using to record with my iPhone as a webcam. So cool.
A lot of headache. But unsurprisingly, because these guys hate each other, CZ wasn't having it. He said he was going to stay in the free market, signaling that he fully intended to squash the price of FTT.
Random guy on Twitter who's probably got a couple thousand followers in the crypto space. Sounds like you want Alameda Research, which we know is also owned by this guy. Sounds like you want Alameda to buy $580 million of BNB, which I assume is Binance coin, and then do a swap for FTT. I didn't say that, says the Binance guy. It was a question, not a commitment. I think we will stay in the free market.
And he did. FTT dropped over the next 24 hours 30%. And not only that, reports started showing
30% of however many billions is still a crap ton of money. I dislike passionately seeing that much capital go to waste. I'm okay with hearing about people blowing off their life savings in a couple 100,000, a million, mistakes being made, celebrities making mistakes. I think Tom Brady had his money in FTX. It's okay to see an individual make a mistake, because then we get to learn from them, we get to see what they do, we get to see them bounce back. It's kind of why React content and streamers are so important anyway in the world, because we're also isolated. The world's increasingly confusing. And if we get to see how someone processes emotion, processes a failure, and how they work through that failure, how they work through that emotion, then we get to learn. But 33% of however many billions, that is just capital gone. That is meals. That is shelter. That is material conditions for people that don't have it. I don't care if I sound like a loony lefty at this point. Life is about living. Life isn't about the stuff you might think it is.
That FTX
would... If you can't afford anything, you can't live.
Withdrawals were increasing. The bank run really was happening like CZ wanted. And this is where we have to go back to Alameda's CEO, what they said about having $10 billion worth of assets.
Move your face.
Because there's some really key caveats about those claims. What are those $10 billion worth of assets? Are they cash?
Wait, let's go back.
Let's
go back. A few notes on the balance sheet info that point to that something calculating recently. That specific balance sheet is for... That's the girl, the woman, the young lady. I apologize. That's the young lady who owns or CEO, is the CEO for Alameda, right? We're going to learn some weird stuff about these two companies and their big employees and how they all with each other. We're going to learn about backdoor money giving, which sounds a little bit nasty. Both things. Bear with coffee.
Because there's some really key caveats about those claims. What are those $10 billion worth of assets? Are they cash? Because if they are, they're probably fine. But if there's something like more FTT token or more of Sam's other projects that he can't sell, well, that's going to be a significant problem for them when everybody's running and asking for their crypto back and they just don't have it. So questions were flying about what exactly FTX was doing with your money when you deposited it. Were they just giving it to Alameda Research, which is sort of acting like a hedge fund and trading with your crypto, trying to make a big return? Or were they keeping your funds safe and just practicing proper risk management? Well,
practicing proper risk management?
Well, this is where everyone just basically waited with bated breath to see what was going to happen next. Uh-oh, this looks pretty bad. They froze.
Couldn't see the end of that because of the mic placement. Breaking. FTX appears to have stopped processing withdrawals. On-chain data show.
Withdrawals. And at the same time, the team basically went totally silent and people commented on how bad this looks on them. Why aren't they speaking? And people started to circle back to old.
I can just feel the alcohol in that pool party.
Clips of Sam Bankman-Fried describing DeFi and crypto as basically a Ponzi scheme positively, and they wondered, how did any of us trust this guy?
I think of myself as like a fairly cynical person, and that was so much more cynical than how I would have described farming. Like, you're just like, well, I'm in the Ponzi business, and it's pretty good.
At no point did any of this require any sort of like economic case. It's just like, other people put money in the box, and so I'm going to too, and then it's more valuable, so I'm going to put more money in.
Guys, hear what they just said about crypto?
And at no point in the cycle.
So just want to let it sink in for another second. You heard what they said about crypto.
Well, did it seem to like describe any sort of like economic purpose?
You heard.
So yeah, things are looking really grim. But if you have your money locked up on FTX and you're clinched up right now, take a deep breath because things look like they might be fine. Although
keep in mind there's two
very
videos.
Unlikely source. CZ announced only hours after FTX.
This afternoon, FTX asked for our help. There was a significant liquidity crunch. Live speech impediment. Bear with me. To protect users, we signed a non-binding LOI intending to fully acquire FTX.com and help cover the liquidity crunch. We will be conducting a full DD in the coming days. I'm gonna say that's some type of investigation. I'm gonna say that's some type of help offer. I don't know these acronyms, but a liquidity crunch, I'm pretty sure, is when the company, like the bank, has the money that their customers want to withdraw, but it's caught up in other assets like stocks. And if too many people withdraw and the assets aren't where they need to be, or they can't be withdrawn, then I believe that's a liquidity crunch. Zero to wealth redistribution. I don't know nothing about money. I'm learning so we can do it together one day. Money for all. Like and subscribe. If you don't like the video, tell me why. Teach you about crypto in the comments. Dislike it if you dislike it, because I'm Mudahar apparently. And if you really hate the video, just mute it and play it in the background. Open up a new tab and find something else. You want to help the planet, right? You want to help the planet, right? I want to help the planet. You got to give me some money first. I'm sorry. That's got to be how it goes. I needs the mun. Cash. Benjamins. The schedule is going to be something like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday for videos. Mostly history of financial disasters and big topics in economics and what people have done thus far to help redistribute wealth. Pretty confident my idea is going to work. Not going to talk about it because I don't have the patent, but it's a business based online where 50% of the net profits go back to the customer. The bigger it gets, the more money you get. Imagine Google gave back 50% net profits to its customers directly every week or every 2 weeks or every month. Now imagine that over 50 years, getting more and more a year or week or month. Now imagine that over a lifetime, 2 lifetimes, 3 lifetimes. Doesn't this sound fun now? Aren't you invested? Let's learn more about financial disasters so we don't become one.
Paused withdrawals, that they were going to buy them. Binance was going to buy FTX, the #1 crypto exchange, buying the #2 out. Quote, this afternoon, FTX asked for our help.
I burp
There's
a lot.
Significant liquidity
I have anxiety.
crunch to protect users. We signed
other
a
issues.
non-binding LOI intending to fully acquire
Yes, I am drinking a carbonated beverage. I'm a
now
glutton for punishment.
I'm at a loss for words. This is insane. If you're not sure what's just happened, CZ basically set his competitor on fire by stoking rumors of insolvency, and then showed up with water buckets later, basically acting like the hero.
So they cashed out 2-point-something billion, spread the rumor that the company's insolvent, all in response to a mocking tweet from the other guy's CEO, FTX's CEO, about how they're not allowed in DC to talk about regulation. So the other guy was like, take this fat L, give me the money. Oh yeah, let me whisper this in the ears of other people in our industry. And then the FTX CEO comes crawling back to his enemy. Hey, can you help?
Saving the day. He just bought FTX out for likely pennies on the dollar in a move that's honestly going to go down as a bit of business genius and also cut through.
A bit of business genius? This is sociopathic peak alpha energy, okay? This isn't even psychotic. This is sociopathic. Oh, what am I getting myself into? It's going to be a hell of a long life. Oh.
Throat strategy. I mean, this was a shark move. Now, in the next few months, you're going to see...
No, it's a morally abhorrent move that's legal because we're in capitalism.
SBF and CZ try to spin this whole thing as if there's no conflict between them and there was never any problems. That was just a rumor. But
can I read these tweets faster? A huge thank you to CZ, Binance, and all of our other supporters. This is a user-centric development that benefits the entire industry. CZ has done and will continue to do an incredible job of building out the global crypto ecosystem and creating a freer, I thought that was like a freer, a word I don't know, a freer economic world. We live in a capitalistic world. It cannot be more free than that. You might as well be a communist if you disagree that much with capitalism. If you think this isn't a free, open market, there's regulations which are delusional. You live in the United States or the Western world, most of which is a capitalistic market, a free market, designed for infinite growth in a finite world. The only thing which is assumed to be infinite is the birth rate. And this is actually late stage capitalism. I don't know the definition of late stage capitalism, but I like to think that it's when things like this blow up. When too big to fail becomes too big lol fail. We'll see. Video 1, got a lot to learn. It's gonna be a long video. That's okay. I like long videos. There was never any
problems. That was just a rumor, but don't believe it. This beef was very real.
How was too quick?
No conflict between any problems. That was just a...
Next tweet. I know there have been rumors in media of conflict between our two exchanges. However, Binance has shown time and again that they are committed to a more decentralized global economy while working to improve industry relations with regulators. We are in the best of hands. The guy who we said couldn't talk about regulation with Washington just said that guy has the best hands to hold him. Are we watching a blooming gay relationship? Is this a homosexual utopia in crypto? Are we watching the evolution of man? Is FBF evolving in front of our eyes, losing wealth but gaining sexual insight? Huh.
A rumor, but don't believe it. This beef was
Oh, has he changed his spandex thingies? Oh no, they've always been maroon. Overalls? What are these things called? Brothers and sisters, comment what these things are called. Is it dungarees? Is it like a suit straps? It's not dungarees. Dungarees are like a onesie. What are these things called? They're so suave. But you've got to wear a vest. Then without the vest, it's just a thing you're doing. Right? Like it requires a vest, whatever.
Very real. Only days ago, CZ was saying that we
Put
won't
in the
pretend
comments
to make
what that
love
thing's
after
called.
divorce. And
this is from the Binance Twitter account, by the way, new to Twitter, at Black Sheep the White, Black Sheep TW, but the L in black is a 1. I'll have links and stuff in the channel eventually. My other channel's called Black Sheep the White, with a 1 for the L in black, and then TW. That's going to be where I do a lot of reacts to like basic economic stuff and YouTube stuff, and I want to keep this channel for the financial disasters, the wealth redistribution, the main goal, the main focus, learn all the big events in history so we are versed. And then the other channel is going to be more of an educating myself in economics. So I'm not only versed, but I'm also fluid in my ability to speak about the topic. One day if someone wants to debate me, they can. But technically I want to take the knee and give away half of my money for my whole lifetime. So whoever's going to try and off me or debate me into oblivion is someone that has brain disease and brain worms, I guess. But okay, let's read this tweet. Binance guy. Liquidating our FTT coin is just post-exit risk management. Learning from Luna. We gave support before, but we won't pretend to make love after divorce. We are not against anyone, but we won't support people who lobby against other industry players behind their backs. Onwards.
And that quote, we won't support people who lobby against other industry players behind their backs. So very much, these guys did not like each other, and one of them just won the war. So the fact SBF let
the two biggest crypto bro companies didn't like each other, the CEOs weren't friends. You gotta decentralize everything. You can't be central and no factor in your life. The more centralized you are, the more reason and centralization and order you have, the biggest chump you are in the crypto world. Never forget, okay? I'm going to be an expert one day. This is just my gut. This is my gut hypothesis.
Let himself get bought out by probably the man he hates most in crypto just shows you how badly they must have been short on cash or the crypto that was being withheld.
Yeah, if you let your Twitter enemy buy you out, you done effed around and you done found out.
I I mean, I promise you they exhausted every other option. In fact, reports are already coming out that
Update. The hole is reportedly closer to 5 to 6 billion. The news article that it's referencing, in the hours before securing an emergency lifeline from rival Binance, crypto exchange FTX was canvassing deep pockets in Silicon Valley and Wall Street. Think billionaires, not institutions. Okay, going to specific people now. We're definitely seeing red. We're in the red. The office is on fire. Not institutions. People familiar with the effort said. One of the people said FTX's founder, Sam Bankman-Fried. Fried? That's gotta be Fried. Sam Bankman-Fried. A semaphore investor? I'm gonna have to learn what that means at some point. I'd Google it now if this video wasn't already 45 minutes. We have another 20-minute video to go. We're seeking more than 1 billion. But by midday Tuesday, the hole looked to be significantly deeper. One of the people said FTX founder. Sorry, that's a weird sentence. One of the people said FTX's founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, a semaphore investor, not a semaphore investor, was seeking more than 1 billion. But by midday Tuesday, the hole looked to be significantly deeper, 5 to 6 billion.
FTX.
When you gotta borrow 5 to 6 billion, you're A, too rich, and B, you're an idiot.
Was courting basically everyone in Silicon Valley, seeking more than $1 billion. But that by mid-Tuesday, the hole in their
future advice to any billionaires: try your best to remain a billionaire. Remember what capitalism is for. Remember that you're like a parent now. Little people rely on you. Oh, look at you, big old parent billionaire. But little people rely on you. So keep your billions. And if you have to borrow billions, it's time to quit.
Balance sheet looked to be significantly deeper.
Especially if you don't have billions and billions of assets and like potential growth. Like if a company like, let's talk about Twitter, needed $1 billion, sure they'd be able to get it, but it's going to be a tough sell because what? They haven't made much revenue for the past forever. But if you're an individual man going to individual billionaires asking for billions, your friends are too rich, you're too rich, and you're in way over your head.
And in the end, they had to sell out to their biggest enemy. Now, what does all of this mean? Because for one, this represents a huge centralization in the crypto space. You know, everyone wants to be decentralized. Well, the number one buying out the number two is sort of a big problem if that's your goal. There also remain huge questions, like how they could have been.
Not really. I don't think that's true. I disagree. The goal is to be decentralized. But until we have a framework of what decentralization looks for, there can be monopolies. There's already enough scams as it is. If that monopoly happens to not be a scam in its lifetime, then I think that's a win. Am I wrong? Comment below. Things are decentralized and scams and failing consistently. A monopoly doesn't sound too bad because it's not a regulated business just yet. Once it's been regulated and there are at least frameworks in this decentralized currency world, then there can be monopolies. But until there's framework and rules and not centralization, but guidance, tectonic guidance, and things you have to adhere to, then yeah, you can become a monopoly. Until then, you're just the guy funding the railroad. No?
Out billions of dollars in the first place, and how exactly they were safeguarding customer
I
funds.
love thinking that someone lost billions of dollars
at a
this week.
multi-billion-dollar hole in their balance sheet after people actually look to get their money out.
Crazy.
It seems to be yet another lesson that you should not trust these crypto exchanges as far as you can throw them. And that no matter what their CEOs say about not having to worry about anything, there could be significant liquidity crises that they're lying to you about.
I think the more a billionaire tells you not to worry, the more you should really consider worrying.
And on that note, I want to remind you that this deal is non-binding, and Binance can get out if the due diligence doesn't pan out, or if they just don't want to do it. So
if the due diligence doesn't pan out, or if they don't want to do it. So it's like a Florida at-will contract. You can just be fired for no reason. Sounds American enough for me.
So if you're invested in FTX and didn't get your money out when I and others started telling you guys that they were likely to be insolvent, it's not time to relax. Binance isn't necessarily going to save you, and you should explore all your options because your funds might still be in danger if this deal doesn't work out. As for FTX US, I have no idea what's going on with you guys.
10 minutes in and this man's coffee is still steaming. I want to give some props to the CGI guy for Coffeezilla. You've made me think that he has a nuclear-powered microwave somewhere. He makes his coffee and he nukes it. If you don't know what nuking your coffee is, when you put it in the microwave, it might be a Caucasian term. I have a lot of Caucasian friends, or I had a lot of Caucasian friends, and I learned this through their mothers who had to nuke their coffee. You put it in the microwave. Sure, every other race does it, but we're gonna cut that right there. A shout out, Hendy? Shout out to Henry and Cynthia.
As far as I know, they just bought out FTX.com, although the deal is still pending, so who knows what's going on.
Binance, Twitter, CEO. This afternoon, FTX asked for our help. There was a significant liquidity crunch to protect users. We signed a non-binding, we've already read this, a non-binding LOI intending to fully acquire FTX.com and help cover the liquidity crunch. We will be conducting a full DD in the coming days.
Going on with that. This is just a wild end to one of the craziest weeks of crypto. World War III basically broke out and a winner was decided. The true main character revealed himself. So that's basically it. I'll see you in a bit. I've been working super hard on a big investigation behind the scenes. I'll tell you guys more about that later, but just wanted to keep you up in the loop. All right,
I'm gonna watch the next video.
Oh, you have a debut in this video?
I'm a Hassan fan. Whoa. He's just another point of view. It's good to learn from different points of views. And I'm also a fan, so take it or leave it. Darn it, there's me trying to stay impartial. First video, letting everyone know that I watch a communist for advice. But I also want to redistribute wealth with a capitalistic business. So one day we're going to have a little bit of banter between us. I'm looking forward to it. It's also why I've got to learn a bunch of stuff for. If I'm going to debate Hassan one day, you best believe some work needs to be done before that debate, okay? Some work. Actual work. Reading, you might say. You might say I have to read and engage my neurons and form new connections before I debate Hassan Piker. What's his middle name? Dugan? Hassan Dugan Piker? What's up, Hassan?
FTX situation just got much worse, and billions of dollars are now hanging in the balance. It's so big that even the White House has addressed it.
Recent news further underscores these concerns and highlights why...
Recent news has underscored these recent events and well, shit. I don't know what to say here. I think we're up creek without a paddle. Can you say the S word? We're gonna find out. Eventually there's gonna be hundreds of these videos. If this one's not monetized, I'm not gonna cry. I might, but
prudent regulation of cryptocurrencies is indeed needed.
Wow. Now, I'm going to try to explain all of what just happened in the last 24 hours. The swirling rumors, the doomers, and the bloomers. Wait, I'm sorry, the Bloomberg allegations. And everyone else's allegations, too. Because when something this big happens, it becomes difficult to sort through...
That was too quick, Coffee. I know you're on Coffeezilla.
...and the bloomers.
These burps are brought to you by non-sponsored Venom Energy. FTX is still looking for money. Solvency versus liquidity. Amedia loans. Alameda loans, excuse me. Some podcast foreshadowing and some Joffrey shade.
The Bloomberg allegations.
Whatever that means.
Everyone else's allegations, too.
Oh, for the love of goodness. FTX looks for $9.4 billion in rescue funds. But Bahamas frees some assets 8 days in November. What led to FTX's sudden collapse?
Because when something this big happens, it becomes difficult to sort through what is provably true and what is sort of speculation. So where I can, I'll be telling you what I'm sure about and what I'm not. And I'm even going to share some insider knowledge I learned from an
insider knowledge
who leaked a lot of interesting information to me. So let's get into this. But
leaked information
from the future, guys. It's a quick interruption to this video to say that a lot has happened in the last 24 hours while editing this, and a lot of the information has changed. The story, just basically kept going. And so I've made an entire extra video attached to the end of this one covering the latest information. Please forgive me, I haven't slept a lot. Buckle up, though, because they're stolen bills.
I looked for this attached video. I couldn't find it. This video came out an hour ago. The one we watched before that came out yesterday. This video is going up tomorrow. So maybe Monday's video will be the next one. Who knows? We have to make so many videos. So many financial crises have happened in our history. So many failures of capital have happened in our history that we're going to have to make quite a bit of these videos. So I'm not even worried. You're not worried. It's 57 minutes long so far, this video. If you're watching it, it's because you A, want wealth redistribution to occur. 2, really invested in crypto. 3, you think I'm handsome and you like the way I sound. Thank you. I'm British, born in Britland, and moved to Boston when I was 5, and Orlando when I was 8, so I have a really strange accent. And a speech impediment. I had a stutter, so if you see me drop a headphone every now and again, it's so I can hear myself talk, so I'm more fluent. See how talking's easier now with one headphone out? It's like that sometimes.
Billions, romantic affairs, flights to Argentina possibly, but for now...
If you're flying to Argentina... Isn't that where the Germans went after...
Just enjoy a much more well-rested Coffeezilla, and I will see you in a bit. Last time we spoke, FTX, one of the biggest crypto exchanges in the world, was in deep trouble. And their biggest competitor, Binance, was planning to buy them out for a bailout.
Tweet on the screen. Tweet on the screen is one I've already read from the CEO of Binance saying that they are intending to fully acquire FTX.com and I'll cover the liquidity crunch. We will be conducting a full DD in the coming days.
Planning to buy them out for a bailout. Now, initially, this was believed to be a short-term issue only for FTX. CZ, their competitor, called it a
How the heck are you going to lose billions of dollars and it's a short-term issue for a cryptocurrency company? Brothers and sisters, if you lose billions of dollars in your cryptocurrency, you've lost billions of dollars in your cryptocurrency. There is no couple days to recover from said activity.
Significant liquidity crunch. This basically means FTX had the money, just they didn't have it right now. Yeah, to make an analogy, imagine I owed you cash but only had gold. That's a liquidity crunch.
Damn it.
I can't just give you gold. I have to go sell it first. But crucially, I have the money.
You can give me your gold.
Just locked up.
I'll take
now,
your
depending
gold.
on how hard it is to immediately sell.
Like and subscribe. I'll take your gold as well. Mute the video and go and open a new tab if you're done with me. Just keep this playing in the background quietly. You playing a game, you can turn it off for some bandwidth. Keep it playing with no sound. Give me the full watch time to help the algorithm. You want to redistribute wealth as well, don't you, you naughty, naughty viewer, watcher? So naughty.
This small issue can turn into a very big one, which FTX figured out when $5 billion in withdrawals came in one day, and they just didn't have the money.
We're going to learn why this is even more funny in a minute. Tweet from FBF, the guy that is the CEO of FTX, the company that went belly up. Because, of course, when it rains it pours, we saw roughly $5 billion of withdrawals on Sunday, the largest by a huge margin.
And so that's what this buyout was all about. Binance stepped in and said, hey, we'll cover their short-term issue in exchange for buying out their long-term assets for pennies on the dollar, which is a pretty brilliant move when you consider that Binance's CEO kind of caused the whole problem in the first place.
What a Chad, am I right? It's 2022, bro. This guy's a Chad. Like, what?
But if you want to know more about that, you can go watch our last video. However, I told you guys in that video that—
what an absolute savage, okay? Like, sicko mode, okay? Binance CEO in full sicko mode, okay? That's what Coffee's trying to say. He's also desperately thirsty because his coffee will never cool down. Get this man something to drink.
This buyout was kind of shaky at best because it was non-binding, which meant at any point Binance could just walk away.
Non-binding buyout success story.
Didn't like what they saw, and that's exactly what happened. Binance recently said they're walking away from the deal and that the reason was based around latest news reports regarding mishandled customer funds and alleged U.S. agency investigations. And this absolutely ruined FTX's credibility overnight. Because all of a sudden, the conversation around FTX turned from liquidity crunch to insolvency and fraud. Because look, there's a big difference between the two. Liquidity issues is when I don't have the cash for you right now, but I have the assets somewhere. Insolvency is when I don't have the cash and I have nothing else either. So if FTX was illiquid, it's a great deal. If FTX is insolvent, it's a nightmare, which is why a lot of people thought Binance backed out of the deal, with both Bloomberg and the Wall Street Journal reporting.
Wall Street Journal article headline: Binance walks away from deal to rescue FTX. Subtext: Crypto exchange's decision leaves FTX with uncertain future as it faces multi-billion-dollar shortfall.
Reporting a multi-billion-dollar
shortfall
on
this guy.
Now,
what
Binance responded to this
monster.
saying that the issues are beyond our control.
Binance chose not to go ahead with the non-binding offer following a review of the company's finances, the exchange said. In the beginning, our hope was to be able to support FTX's customers to provide liquidity, but the issues are beyond our control or ability to help, Binance said in a statement.
Control or ability to help, and this is very bad news for FTX. It's bad news for all of crypto, because your average investor is about...
It's if any time some one event can happen and it's bad news for all of crypto, that's bad news. You don't got to be an expert in finances for that one.
Wrecked. Not only that, the CEO Sam Bankman-Fried may be in a lot of trouble.
A Twitter thread. By the way, I'm new to Twitter. I had no idea why society's brain rot was going at an exponential rate. And then I made a Twitter account. I get it now. Follow me at Black Sheep the White. The L in black is a 1. TW. Link below, I think. I hope. A competitor is trying to go after us with false rumors. Number 1. That's his only point. Number 1. A competitor is trying to go after us with false rumors. Period. Space. No, enter. FTX is fine. Assets are fine. Enter. Details. : No details provided.
Because it turns out he was lying.
Posted November 7th.
to everyone when he said that FTX is fine and that FTX had funds to cover.
FTX is fine. We have the funds. I'm not lying. This isn't fraud. It's an unregulated market. Too big to fail. I provided jobs and opportunity. I raised capital. I'm going to spend less time in jail than someone that does blue-collar crime. Come at me. Tweet 2 in the thread. Number 2. FTX has enough to cover all client holdings. What? Hope? You got enough hope to cover all client? We do not invest client assets, even in treasuries. Why do I think that's BS? We have been processing all withdrawals and will continue to be. Some details on withdrawal speed. Link to another place in Twitter. Banks and nodes can be slow. In parentheses. Look, Brie. I know we're a decentralized currency. We have our money in banks, and banks are slow. And nodes, whatever the hell those are, right? I don't know. I'm just a crypto CEO. Nodes are slow as heck.
Cover all client holdings. He said this basically minutes before disaster. Now, he has since deleted those tweets, which might be a good idea.
he since went back on his statements as CEO by deleting the messages. This is why Twitter isn't good. Okay? Because that's not going anywhere. That was screenshotted as a Wayback Machine. You're not getting away from that. You're never ever getting away from that. But you deleted the tweets anyway. Okay? You're only temporarily solving a minor PR issue to such a massive problem. By the way, Coffee's rings look CGI'd. This man's got such great front lighting. Like, my lighting's alright. We can go a bit brighter, but then it's just like too bright. Should we go with the one light? Is one light okay? Is two light off-putting? Is it too bright? I think this is too bright. Is this better? This is just one, then this is two. Two is what I've been using. Does 2 look acceptable, or does 3? 3 looks like I just saw Gandalf naked. Gandalf the White just walked into the room naked, and it's just like, oh, it's like Star Wars music style. 1 looks like I'm barely there. 2 looks like I'm Casper the Friendly Ghost, but I'm still visible. And nothing looks like this. Sorry for the webcam hitching. It's wirelessly connected to my PC, even though it's plugged in with a USB wire. iPhone and Apple devices apparently don't like Windows. Apple, play nice. I want to use my webcam connected with the wire. Okay? Okay. Let's go back to watching Coffeezilla.
They probably are criminal, but we'll get back to that in a second. Because first, I want to go back to Binance's
criminal
earlier
incidences in money,
mishandled customer
white-collar crime.
What did they mean by that? And how can a crypto exchange as big as FTX become insolvent? It's like hearing that a casino went insolvent. It's like, how did you guys lose money? You win no matter what. These crypto exchanges make money on the fees. Whether you win or not, whether it goes up or down, they're making money. So how could you have lost billions of dollars as one of the...
Imagine an unregulated market with an unregulated currency having fees to trade said currency without the traditional protection one expects. Your transaction is protected, but keep in mind that your money is digital. And digital money is not protected. Think about that. Not too hard, but think about that.
Biggest crypto exchanges? That's the question. And this is where Alameda Research comes in. So, as a quick explanation, SBF's empire is actually incredibly complicated. Like,
Coffee, what are you doing? You need to stop drinking this coffee, brother.
SBF's empire is actually incredibly complicated. Like,
Way
more complicated than even complicated firms.
No
like
more.
This has been compared to the Lehman Brothers. Well, the Lehman Brothers corporate structure is way simpler. SBF's web of companies is really difficult to untangle. But really, there are two companies that matter the most: Alameda Research and FTX. FTX is the crypto exchange we've talked about, and Alameda Research is
the one that screwed them, right? Right? Or are they screwing each other? We're going to find out in a minute. Am I right?
A small trading firm. Now, these two companies, though they're
small trading firm, also some more screwing around. Sorry for pointing at you. I know it's very disrespectful in some cultures. I'm very sorry.
Technically distinct entities have always been sort of unusually close. Some have speculated unethically close. But their CEO claims indeed they are separate entities. But with FTX seemingly becoming insolvent, that relationship is now under scrutiny. And it turns out they may have shared more than an office.
I want to go back to that text.
And all
that tweet or other. Tweet. Alameda Research is a liquidity provider for FTX. And also incubates the exchange. Space. They are, however, separate entities. Space. Happy to explain more in a DM if you want more details. Whenever your CEO is offering to DM to answer questions, he's fleeing the country. I'm just going to call that now. We're going to see that more than once, aren't we? This isn't the first time we're going to see that in financial disasters. Send me a DM. I'll tell you what's up. I got the answers right here. You confused? I'm not confused. Look, A, B, C, D, A and B are talking. See yourself out of this conversation, okay? Send me a DM. I'll figure it out for you, chump. Takes flight to... Where do they go? Argentina? I think it was Bahamas to Argentina. We'll learn more.
But with FTX seemingly becoming insolvent, that relationship is now under scrutiny. And it turns out they may have shared more than an office. They may have shared information and also been sharing client funds. And this is where this whole mishandled client funds allegation comes in. Because FTX told users that their digital assets belong to them and wouldn't be traded. It's explicitly laid out in their terms of service. Quote, you control the digital assets in your account.
FTX's terms of service, folks. FTX terms of service.
Assets in
you control the digital assets held in your account at any time, subject to outages, downtime, and other applicable policies, including the terms. You may withdraw your digital assets by sending them to a different blockchain address controlled by you or a third party. So you have access to your money all the time, subject to outages, downtime, and applicable policies.
In your account. FTX trading does not represent or treat
none of the digital assets in your account are the property of or shall or may be loaned to FTX trading. FTX trading does not represent or treat digital assets in user accounts as belonging to FTX trading. It's like a bank, but it's not a bank. You see, we just take your money and we keep it. You see, forever. We're good. See, see.
Digital assets in users' accounts as belonging to FTX trading. And title to your digital assets shall at all times remain.
All digital assets are held in your account on the following basis. A. Title to your digital assets shall at all times remain with you and shall not transfer to FTX trading. As the owner of digital assets in your account, the D in digital and A in assets are capitalized, so that's what they call their money. That's an actual name. As the owner of digital assets in your account, you shall bear all risk of loss such as digital assets. You shall bear all risk of loss such as the owner of digital assets in your account, comma, you shall bear all risk of loss of such digital assets. FTX trading shall have no liability for fluctuations in the flat currency value of digital assets held in your account.
With you. But turns out this wasn't the case at all, because according to an Alameda research employee who came to me anonymously, apparently they had
the B-roll of the anonymous guy, by the way. It's like a 39th floor of a skyscraper. The lights are off. He's got his cell phone out. He's looking out the window, having a deep personal conversation after some deep thinking. That doesn't happen.
More access to FTX than
never happened
disclosed.
ever.
In fact, not only did they have access to FTX's back end, they managed withdrawals for FTX and had a giant line of credit that they could draw on, which seems like partially may have been users' funds.
So, Alameda, or however you say it, was another company by the owner of FTX. And in this company, they were a research company that researched how to successfully make money trading cryptocurrencies. I think that's what I'm getting. This company was stated to have no connection to FTX at all. The CEO stated they were separate entities. And this is all allegedly, of course. And what was going on was Alameda was taking money from the FTX piggy bank to do its research, technically breaking the terms of service of FTX, taking their capital and researching ways to make more money with said capital. And they must have not been doing their research very well because they were losing money, I assume.
Something that no
allegedly
separate entity would normally have. Now, bear in mind, that is coming from one employee, but it's backed up by another source, the Wall Street Journal.
This dream of mine is gonna be the death of me, isn't it? I need to work out more and take more vitamins as well. This really is gonna be the death. Hopefully my hairline stop receding. This is it. You know what I'm saying? Once I decided to put it into like a man ponytail, man bun type thing, it's when it stops getting thinner. So guys out there, young men, if you think your hair is thinning, pick a style. The lack of style that you have chosen with your hair, I know it's the style you've had your whole life. Once you've decided on a style, your brain needs to keep that hair because you've picked it and you will your hair to stay where it is. Just my assumption, and I'm a biomedical sciences major. That's pre-med in America, by the way. I can go to medical school. I can say stuff like that and tell you I'm not a doctor. This isn't medical advice. Pick a hairstyle. If you like it, your hair will stop thinning out. It's as easy as that.
Journal, who reported that FTX extended loans to Alameda using money that customers had deposited.
FTX's chief executive, Sam Bankman-Fried, told an investor this week that Alameda owes FTX about $10 billion, the person said. What? FTX extended loans to Alameda using money that customers had deposited on the exchange for trading purposes. A decision that Mr. SBF described as a poor judgment call. Yeah, my one company was giving money to my other company that was figuring out more ways to make money, and the company that had money eventually gave up too much money to this other company, and we couldn't make money, so that's about $10 billion gone. You know how much money $10 billion is? When Elon bought Twitter at $44 billion, he divided that by 365 million. The amount of people that are in the U.S. or estimated to be in the U.S. Something like that, right? It's like $189 a person. Everyone could have got a little stimulus check for that. 10 billion, this is about a fourth. So just under a fourth of 189, 190. Let's do some mental math. Everyone could have gotten about $37, $38. in the US. Everybody, all 365 million of us. That's how much money this is. Imagine if it was actually used in the right ways. Say, to redistribute wealth. Just imagine, right? Imagine there's some guy whose dream it is to bring a company to fruition, and said company's net profits, half of which go back to the customer and keep growing, is a company that you can rely on to not destroy money, but to give it back to people. Wow. Like and subscribe. Comment if that idea sounds cool to you.
Positive on the...
Comment if that idea sounds good to you. If you like the idea of wealth redistribution, please like and comment. Subscribe. Share the video if you have people to share it to. Put me on mute. Open another tab and keep it playing. Give me the watch time. I'm not going to worry about it. You're going to worry about it when you don't have wealth, and I'm trying to fix that. So
the exchange for trading purposes, which they just said they wouldn't do. Quote, it was a decision that Mr. Bankman-Fried described as a poor judgment call.
He broke his own TOS.
But I would disagree with Mr. Sam Bankman-Fried. I would not describe that as a poor judgment call. A poor judgment call is showing up to a Zoom meeting looking like this. When you take clients' funds and do exactly what you told them you would not do with them, that's theft, and that is fraud.
Exactly. Showing up to a Zoom call looking like the entitled, snobby billionaire, 20-year-old, early 30-year-old, doesn't know what to do with all of his money and is doing shady things to make money with that smirk on your face and an old black t-shirt that you were probably playing games in the night before and you woke up in, with your curly, I'm a quirky genius haircut. Looks even worse because you haven't showered. That's a poor decision. Losing $10 billion is a poop in the bed. We've got to think about these things differently.
Now, I know this is already all insane, but we've only explained sort of half the story, how clients' funds were being used by Alameda. But how were they lost? Because new reports show that Alameda may owe FTX $10 billion. How did they lose that $10 billion? Because these were supposed to be the crypto geniuses, right? Well, this is unfortunate.
I want to pause right there and criticize Coffeezilla for ever thinking these people were geniuses. I do not know what you were thinking, Mr. Zilla. Is it raining? Did you guys hear that?
Where we
got
have
12
to
more
kind of
minutes
get a
of
mix
this madness
facts
to go.
And speculation. As I said, I'm going to tell you guys what we're sure about, what we're not. So losses likely come from 4 places that I've heard about. Number 1 is just FTX themselves spending insane amounts on advertising with stadiums, Tom Brady, and a crazy number of YouTube.
I'm pretty sure allegedly Tom Brady's invested in this company. So I don't think they probably spent too much money to get Brady.
Influencers who apparently were shilling FTX. The second place they likely lost money was that Alameda invested heavily into FTT tokens and
looks back to the second camera to show the magnifying glass over here. He's deep diving. Hasn't yet sipped that coffee. It's still too hot. This man's craving a sip of liquids. Every time I see it, it makes me thirsty. Coffee is perpetually too hot to drink.
And a lot of their own projects, which when FTX went down, basically went to zero, or at minimum couldn't
zero to wealth redistribution. Like and subscribe.
Be sold very quickly.
Comment.
The third way they lost
dislike,
money was that Sam Bankman-Fried tried to bail out all of crypto in the summer. People like BlockFi, Voyager Digital, Skybridge Capital, which led to huge losses.
SBF, the CEO of FTX endeavors, included loans to or moves to acquire faltering crypto lender BlockFi, lender Voyager Digital, and Anthony Scaramucci. Anthony Scaramucci, that's a politician, right? Whatever. Anthony Scaramucci, Skybridge Capital Hedge Fund. Alameda Research also led a funding round for the Facebook-linked Aptos blockchain in late July, at a time when investment funds were drying up. So he's trying to do what his rival did to him. Oh, it sucks. That's a fat L. And he probably has a couple million in savings or something. He's probably not too worried. He's just leaving America with his $60 million and whatever residual he's got left over from the 40, 50 billion. And he's giggling to himself. He'll probably be a hero to the capitalist movement or capitalist in general. Hated by the middle class for screwing them completely. Like Elon tweeted, 5 million people. I think FTX got hacked as well, and they lost 60 million. Let's keep going.
And then
Let's
when Alameda found itself with big losses around the time of a lot of these companies' collapse, number 4, Alameda took out a $4 billion line of credit from FTX, a $4 billion loan.
Let me know what you'd like to see in these videos as well. Am I talking too much? Am I funny? Are my glasses like a massive glare on the screen? I'm blind now. Are you happy about that? You glad? If I get real quiet, is this ASMR for you? Put in the comment below. I just kind of want to get some feedback as I finally pump out these videos and make sure that the thumbnails are adequate and the descriptions are adequate. Thumbnail is going to be kind of boring for a little while. I have no background in thumbnails. I have an Amazon whiteboard though and some markers, and I'm going to be using those to their highest potential. Remember, you want me to save money because I'm going to be redistributing wealth. Think about it. Think about it. You want me to be rich, right? I don't need to be rich so you can have a bit more money.
Essentially. And what did they give FTX in return to back up this money? FTT tokens and Robinhood shares. Guys, which the FTT tokens is loan.
Seeking to prop up Alameda, which held almost 15 billion in assets. Bankman-Fried, how do you say his name? Is it Fried? What? I don't care. He sucks. Bankman-Fried transferred at least 4 billion in FTX funds, secured by assets including FTT and shares in trading platform Robinhood Market. So a failing, disgraced trading app stock and 4 billion in his own company's fake coin. He moved from one company to another. 7.6% of share in Robinhood. This guy lost all his money.
Essentially. And what did they give FTX in return to back up this money? FTT tokens and Robinhood shares. Guys, which the FTT tokens is the crazy part because FTX, that's their token. So it's basically giving nothing. This is all according to Reuters.
Yeah, I thought so.
And it's just insane.
I thought I read
Many
it
financial
wrong,
commentators are calling this dark magic, but I think Matt Levine of Bloomberg put it best.
The quote of the guy that put it best: more selling of FTT, etc., in a death spiral. I said yesterday that this is analogous to a bank lending a lot of money against its own stock. And that is, in banking, very dark magic. And that is, in banking, very dark magic and possibly illegal.
He says it's possibly illegal, and it's like a bank lending a lot of money against its own
illegal
stock. The problem obviously being that if you face a liquidity crunch or people lose confidence in you, then these FTT tokens go to zero, and now your clients aren't backed. So it's extremely risky behavior at the best, and like he said, possibly illegal. I'd say probably illegal. So it was this incestuous relationship between FTX and Alameda that led to their downfall. And while we don't know the full extent of their losses and what is just they can't find the liquidity right now, estimates right now are going from...
Did you see the CGI smoke mess up his head?
Estimates right now are going from billions to 10 billion. And what is just they can't find the liquidity right now.
You saw that?
Estimates right now are going from billions to $10 billion at the highest I've seen, which is just wild, and I feel so bad for the victims here. But I find the collapse unbelievably
I feel very bad for the victims as well.
SBF was lecturing Congress about how crypto exchanges were so much better than the traditional financial system. In 2008, it was unregulated, it was so risky, but it turns out he was doing all of the same things.
Last thing that I'll say is if you look at what precipitated some of the 2008 financial crisis, you saw a number of bilateral, bespoke, non-reported transactions happening between financial counterparties, which then got repackaged and re-leveraged again and again and again, such that no one knew how much risk was in that system until it all fell apart. If you compare that to what happens on FTX or other major cryptocurrency venues today, there's complete...
Talking from a man that's got a plan.
Transparency about the full open interest.
Talking like a man that's got a plan, rather.
There's complete transparency about the positions that are held. There's a robust, consistent...
Look at the quality we had in 2008, by the way. My iPhone could have done better than this. My iPhone is doing better than this.
Risk framework applied, and we're excited to work with the CFTC on our U.S. licensed and regulated venue.
Yikes. Does the phrase bespoke non-reported transactions happening between financial counterparties, which then got repackaged and repackaged again and again to such an extent that no one knew how much risk was in the system? Does that sound familiar to anyone? Because it sounds exactly like what SBF did. You know, the only difference between SBF and these banks, which he says were so bad, was that SBF preached to us how good he was. He was the generous billionaire.
The guy you see next to me is the most generous billionaire in the world.
Our video quality has definitely improved. You saw that? I barely remember that guy. Wasn't his stuff? You can't have man... Wait.
Billionaire.
The guy you see
you
next to
can't have man nipples as a billionaire. The second you're anywhere worth close to $100,000, you're working out. And if you're worth million or billion, I expect you not to look like Mark Cuban after not looking after himself for a couple years. Like early Mark Cuban. Like smoked a lot, allegedly. I'm not saying he did, but that's what this guy looks like. Like Mark Cuban off the perk, okay?
The most generous billionaire in the world.
There's no such thing as a generous billionaire. I will be. I'll be the first generous trillionaire as well. I think Mr. Beast might be the only good billionaire. Think about that. Do you agree with that? Comment below if you think Mr. Beast is the only good billionaire. And if you have another good billionaire in mind, link me their Wikipedia page or something. If they're good enough, I'll do a video on them.
Well, I guess that was a lie. But we still kind of have to answer the...
Some prominent leftist pundits, online voices, commentators say there are no good billionaires. Prove them wrong by giving me content. Like and subscribe. Zero to wealth redistribution. Help us grow.
Final question to all of this.
9 more minutes.
That it seems like obviously they're insolvent, but how much of it is insolvency versus liquidity squeeze?
A Coffeezilla video is always as painful? Or is it just as painful because I'm talking? I'm gonna assume it's a bit of both.
We're still figuring that out.
To be honest,
SBF, even after making the thread today, admitting that he...
Tweet by SBF, the FTX CEO. Number 1, I'm sorry. That's the biggest thing. You bastard. Pardon my French. You fatherless man. My first video is not getting monetized, is it? I bleeped up and should have done better.
effed up and he should have done better,
2 p.m.
still
November
claims
10th.
that FTX has assets that are higher than their clients.
FTX International currently has a total market value of assets / collateral higher than client deposits. Moves with prices, ! But that's different from liquidity for delivery. As you can tell from the state of withdrawals, the liquidity varies widely, from very to very little. Some days we got money, some days we don't got money, huh? What do you want from me, huh? Yeah, get out of here.
Basically saying they are solvent still.
Get out of here. Go to Argentina.
Honestly,
get out of here.
I think this is almost
that's
definitely
me.
Another lie from Sam Bankman-Fried, given that A, we know that a lot of their assets are in illiquid tokens like FTT, which that real value is probably zero. And also B, well, this guy has already proven himself to be a liar.
I love
and
it.
We shouldn't trust him. So I just default to assuming that he's lying. My guess is they're insolvent by at least a few billion, maybe the full 10 billion.
If he is lying, he gets punished, right? That's why he's going to Argentina, allegedly. Why is blue-collar crime punished more severely than white-collar crime? Why do you have to literally lose billions and billions and billions and have no money to defend yourself to suffer the consequence of white-collar crime? For blue-collar crime, you've got to spend your life savings on a lawyer to get 10 years in jail compared to the 20 you would have gotten. Or whatever, the 5 compared to the 10 you would have gotten. White collar crime, it's like pay a huge fee. Go sit in your house for 2 years, you naughty boy. You naughty, naughty capitalist, you. Like, type of...
We don't know. SBF is now seeking to raise $9.4 billion in an emergency fundraise, which I think speaks volumes to that. I don't think they'll get it. Brian Armstrong of Coinbase has said, I don't know why investors would put money into this.
Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong on FTX searching for bailouts. I don't know why investors would put money into this now.
Which is a nice way of saying, I don't know why anyone put money into this ever. But not everyone, though, seems skeptical. Amazingly, there still are some believers. Bill Ackman, for example, believed SBF's apology. In a now deleted tweet, he responded.
Tweets. I hate Twitter already. It's been a month. I made a Twitter a month ago. Killed the website. Okay? I ride a pale horse, for my name is death. Bill Ackman, 9 minutes ago, coffee on that screenshot game. You have to give FTX credit for all his accountability here. I don't know any of the facts, contradictory statements, but I have never before seen a CEO take responsibility as he does here. It reflects well on him and the possibility of a more favorable outcome for FTX official.
That you have to give SBF credit for his accountability here. I have never seen a CEO take responsibility as he does here. It reflects well on him and the possibility of a more favorable outcome for FTX.
Does it?
But what accountability is he talking about? I don't see that at all.
Has he?
SBF is explicitly dodging responsibility about his criminal lies about research. Remember, we talked about how he said, assets are fine. We have the full amount to cover client deposits. But now look at his new accounting of events. Because what he says now is that
what he says now, number 5. The full story here is one I'm still fleshing out every detail of. But as a very high level, I bleeped up twice. Is that even English? The full story here is one I'm still fleshing out every detail of. But at a very high level, he misspelled, or his brain. He's a billion-dollar company CEO. How are you tweeting so quickly that you're making spelling mistakes? But as a very high level, I bleeped up twice.
He messed up and mistakenly thought that they had zero leverage. And
number 6, my sense before. : Leverage 0 times. Whatever that means. USD liquidity ready to deliver. 24 times average daily withdrawals. Actual. Leverage. 1.7x. Liquidity. 0.8x Sunday's withdrawals. Because, of course, when it rains, it pours. We saw roughly $5 billion on Sunday, the largest by a huge margin.
24x the needed liquidity. In reality, he says he was wrong and that they were leveraged 1.7x.
You know what? I'm liking this guy more and more. This guy's got some stunts.
At first glance, I understand why that would appear like he's taking, responsibility here. Until you realize that what he's really telling you is that he sucks at his job. Because how can you not know, as the CEO, as this genius, how levered up you are? You're this genius trader. Isn't it awfully convenient that you're suddenly bad at your job?
He gets back into the analytics and the details, and he cuts to the side camera where we can see the magnifying glass. You can clearly see the CGI. Is this also a CGI magnifying glass? Are you all one big lie, Coffeezilla? You're telling me you don't have a very warm studio? Are these clothes even real? Oh, are those clothes even real? It's all just a green shirt, huh? What you doing wearing these? You don't have a job where you wear those. Are you in the circus? Do you chop wood on TikTok?
Job when it would be criminal if you actually knew? Because those are the two options. If he had known he was lying, that's criminal. So he's basically saying, well, I didn't know. I was just wrong. I'm just terrible at my job.
White collar crime.
And I'm just not buying that. My opinion of it is this.
Either.
SBF is a shark who knowingly put his own customers' funds at risk
to
right. Save his trading firm, Alameda Research. He did this without telling them while giving them worthless FTT tokens as collateral, which he knew was risky. He then lied about it right up until the last possible moment, and when it finally came out that what he did was likely criminal, he goes, oh, oops, I didn't know that things were so bad.
Told me.
It's ridiculous. And
I agree.
Anyone who believes this, well, I have a multi-billion-dollar crypto exchange to sell you. Anyways, he ends this thread by saying that Alameda Research is winding down.
Ends this thread with number 15. First, one way or another, Alameda Research is winding down trading. I've ran out of money, allegedly, to give this second company I have to do the things I said in the TOS we wouldn't be doing with your money, because of which we're winding down trading, allegedly.
Trading, and he also addresses CZ of Binance, saying, at some point, I might have more to say about a particular sparring partner, so to speak, but glass houses. So for now, all I'll say is, well played, you won.
Number 20. I guess the thread wasn't done just yet. At some point, I might have more to say about a particular sparring partner, so to speak. Ooh, is it the Binance guy? Because he got you good. But glass houses made of billions of dollars, and you're breaking your own furniture in. So for now, all I'll say is, well played, semicolon, you won.
Which just strikes me as so weird of a statement. He talks about this as if it's a sparring partner, as if it's all a game. This is not a game to be won and lost.
It is to him. It is to them.
This is billions of dollars of people's real money that you just lost. Correction. He might have stolen it, or maybe one of his executives did, or a hacker did. We don't know for sure. Welcome to the future. It sucks here. Guys, as I said, a lot has changed, and I want to cover it. For one, SBF declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy for all his companies, including FTX US, which he said was fine, and many influencers promoted. See this video for more.
Oh,
but it basically looks like
now.
They're all in deep trouble. Even worse, news around Alameda has gotten much more dire. See, originally we thought this team was a bunch of geniuses in crypto. Now it's coming out they were more like a...
The phrase geniuses in crypto need to be reserved for literal mathematical analytical geniuses. Okay? Not just 4chan users that got, or Reddit users that got lucky. Not just for people that stumbled into billions of dollars by being moralist capitalists. We've got to save this crypto genius title for someone worth it. And as of yet, I don't think there is a crypto genius anywhere. There's probably a lot of crypto experts, but there is yet to be a crypto genius. If not, these problems would not be happening. The crypto genius in a capitalistic market, in a free market, would take the reins. This genius would solidify an unsolidified product. That product being cryptocurrency. It's a product. It's money, but it's a product because its worth can diminish. You think of it like that.
A gang of kids who all dated each other. This report comes from CoinDesk. Alameda employees were in romantic relationships with each other. And there's speculation that the CEO of Alameda, Caroline Ellison, became the CEO maybe because she dated Sam Bankman-Fried.
I date her. I mean, I'd give her $10 billion. Get this man off the hook. It's the only woman he's ever slept with. Okay? Why does she look like she never hit puberty? Why does she look like she had a chin and then someone robbed her chin? Why does he look like he took her chin? Why does she have that nose? What European descent does that nose come from? Why are his eyebrows better than mine? He's also covering up his hairline with curly hair. It works. It works out. It works. Don't tell me it don't work. Okay? Okay? Look at me in Asmongold. He's only a couple years. He's not going to give you my age, but he is older than me by a couple years. And look at that man. I'm sorry, Zach. I'm going to have to compare myself to you for a second. I'm all right. Not even using any products, any men's health products like other content creators. I'm not going to name any leftist Twitch streamers who use special products to keep their hair growing. If I ever did, it was to know in the future. If I ever do, it's because I want to fill out this beard. Apparently, I can't grow a full beard. I mean, I can. It's not like a puffy Santa Claus beard. Not a lot of chest hair as well, gotta say. We're not going to talk about the hair down under. You guys don't deserve that in the first video. 4 minutes. Let's finish this.
She also has been revealed to be a big fan of amphetamines.
It's going to be a 2-hour video.
Which is just not great when you're controlling billions of dollars. And it gets worse when you realize that SBF had secretly added a, quote, backdoor into FTX's bookkeeping system. This came out just recently, which allowed SBF to, quote, execute commands that could alter the company.
He said backdoor.
Financial records without alerting other people.
That sounds legal. In
other words, this is how we believe Sam moved $10 billion in funds from FTX to Alameda without alerting anyone. Later, it was reported that among this $10 billion,
it wasn't their money to move because the TOS of FTX.
Some of it also went missing from even Alameda, with Reuters reporting that $1 to $2 billion are unaccounted for.
Like I could feed everybody in the States for a couple days. At least a couple days.
Even among Alameda's assets.
Like I could feed Africa for a year. Let's talk about it.
Which again, it just all looks so bad for SBF. And from here, things spiral even worse. Because once the dust started settling, you know, we thought, okay, we're going to get a clearer picture now that they're entering bankruptcy. But then they suddenly got hacked in addition to everything. On Telegram, they're
L's, bruh. I've got some for you. It's coming out of nowhere, dude. Take all these L's.
Admin says FTX has been hacked. All funds seem to be gone.
Is this in a Discord? Where is this?
FTX apps are malware. Delete.
FTX apps are malware. Delete them.
Delete them. This is just insane.
Chat is open. I want to go back. Chat is open. Don't go on FTX site as it might download Trojans.
Delete them. This is just insane. How could this happen? CoinDesk reported that the hacker got out $600 million. And I have to tell you that some numbers are slightly less than that. 400 million from.
That's probably all they had in liquid, besides what the guy had in his bank accounts. Dang.
Slow Mist, for example, and this hack is being traced. So we don't know the full story right now.
What hack is being traced? If I ever understand what's going on in these little diagrams here, hunt me down. Tranquilize me and put me into bed, tuck me in. I'd be there when I wake up. I'm gonna need your support. Like and subscribe.
Now, but it's a lot of money. So to state the obvious, this is very bad for FTX, and it also seems like pretty convenient timing for Sam, who has suddenly become unresponsive. So this fueled a lot of speculation. Now, Elon Musk decided to join the speculation, seeming to accuse Sam.
Video on the other channel on Monday. Both channels are going to have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday upload schedule. We're going to react to Elon buying Twitter through Mogul Mail, help of Ludwig. And I have my own additions to that. If I'm good at one thing, it's solving problems. When I'm given the circumstance of the problem and given the tools at play, I am very good at coming up with a pragmatic solution. Zero to wealth redistribution, everybody. At least I'm good at problem solving. I'm not good at money, but good at problem solving. This is a good thing. I'm gonna finish this video.
In a meme of being behind it all, he posted this: "Man F's 5 million people at once."
If he is his own hacker here, he is the goofiest looking person inside and out.
Which is a pretty good one. And basically this set off a frenzy of people frantically trying to unmask.
Side note, Elon, stop it. Look at me. Thank you, but stop it. Emerald mine owning mother.
Ask the hacker, eager to make it Sam or Caroline or even their CTO, Gary. For example, some people used the GitHub activity of Gary Wang to show that he did an unusual number of commits to his GitHub repo.
We saw his name on the diagram of the business structure, I think.
Basically saying he might have set up this sudden hack. And he did all this a day before FTX was hacked. And this for sure is very suspicious, but we need to be careful about rushing to conclusions.
Do you think FTX was hacked? Do you think this was an inside job to take the money away and keep it and run to Argentina, allegedly? Put a comment down below.
For example,
you've gotten this far in the video. What would you like to see? What don't you like to see? Is this too long? You fell asleep? You've fallen asleep during this? That's what I do with long videos. Look so cute when you sleep, chat. So cute when you sleep. You're a handsome chatter.
Mario Nawfal accused the hacker of being an...
Women can be handsome. I personally like a very pretty, handsome woman with a bit of a chin. That's my idea of female handsomeness, is a nice chin. Don't ask me why that's my only trait that comes to mind right now, and don't judge me for it. Judge yourself for judging me. I only said words. You're the one throwing stones. It's simple as that.
Inexperienced insider, because some of the funds were traced back to Kraken, and so people thought the mystery was solved when a Kraken executive said, "We know the identity of this user."
That's nice. And oh yeah, I'm sure that's actually the person. You sure, Coffee? Elon took over Twitter. For all we know, that's not even Nick Percoco.
The problem was
Percoco.
it turned out there were actually
Nick Percoco. The hell type of a last name is? I'm joking.
Two people who were operating at the time that this hack happened: the hacker and then the response team over
These videos
at
are going to be
FTX.
painful.
And the person using Kraken.
I hate the idea of billions going to waste. Every video is going to be progressively more painful.
seems to have been the response team and not the hacker themselves. So it seems like a false identification there. So I get it. We all want to know who the hacker is, but we can't jump to conclusions here. And I'm going to try to be honest with you guys about what we know and what we don't. For now, let's just say the leading suspects are anybody at Alameda or FTX, and especially Sam himself, but we do not know for sure. Another thing we do not know, but people seem to be happy to claim as fact, is that SBF is fleeing the Bahamas and flying to Argentina.
He's British. Look at this. Turns out the rumors may be true. SBF escaped to Argentina. Hang out with the Reich, the Third Reich.
Currently, the most tracked flight in the world is the one everyone suspects of being Sam, but we do
the most tracked flight in the world.
Do not have concrete evidence, and that's going to be the final bit of speculation we entertain here because there's.
Imagine running away from your country, from the Bahamas to Argentina. And having your plane flight, you're just Googling and you see that you're the most tracked human being in the world. You're just looking around the plane like...
Infinite theories about how all this happened. All we know is that FTX is massively in debt and users are unlikely to get their funds back.
They can probably just go bankrupt and then he can just keep his millions and then get a big fine and then keep his millions, come up with some other project in a decade. That's what they all do.
Because they sent a lot of it to Alameda and seem to have lost it
almost
somehow.
done.
The most recent report.
I know this is painful. It's going to continue to be painful. Like and subscribe. Zero to Wealth Redistribution. It's going to be painful.
Report based on the bankruptcy filing.
FTX held less than $1 billion in liquid assets against $9 billion in liabilities. Fast Gap highlights dire states of Sam Bankman-Fried's exchange before it collapsed into bankruptcy.
Shows FTX held less than $1 billion in liquid assets against $9 billion in liabilities. So this whole is just so bad at this point. Ooh. And I think that was actually pre-hack, so the real story is likely a lot
for 2 hours and lean forward.
And this has been a sad case study in trusting slick billionaires too quickly. And I think this story is only just getting started. Anyways, I hope that keeps you up to date, and hopefully we can edit this thing before all of this.
Coffee's video is going to be in the description. Go subscribe to Coffeezilla. He's helped a lot of people. He saved a lot of people's finances. He's a hero on the YouTube community and on Twitter, and everyone loves Coffeezilla. I'm going to continue loving Coffeezilla until he strikes one of my videos for not talking too much. I'm learning about fair use as I go, and my plan is noble. Please message me, Coffeezilla, but I will cite you in the description, send people to your channel. Thank you for watching the first installment of Zero to Wealth Redistribution. We're going to be going through more financial disasters in later videos. My name is Black Sheep, and like and subscribe if you want to redistribute wealth one day. Sorry the first video is too long. We went over 2 videos. Sorry. Bye.
This information goes out of date in 3 hours.
Wrong button.
Thanks for...
Bye again. Thanks, Coffee. Bye, Coffee.